Hello, Sochi here with Sochiology. I hope everybody's doing great. I'm excited to connect with you guys today on another episode of Sochiology. But before I get started on this topic that's been on my list for the longest time that I've not discussed for a reason, if you guys can please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, like, share, and definitely comment so we can converse about this topic. I want your perspective. I want to know if you experienced what I'm going to discuss and also how you handled it. So, what is today's subject and why have I not brought it up? So, today's topic is why you gotta hate. Yes, I went there. I'm bringing it up. I'm talking about it. Why you gotta hate? Why you gotta be a hater? So it feels weird discussing this because I love empowerment. I love to see women being uplifted, growing. But at one time I had a little bit of a weird perspective on that because I got a lot of hate growing up. I was bullied growing up, believe it or not. Yes, I was a victim of bullying. So even though I wanted the best for women, I wasn't sure how to express it because I had so much like turmoil. Maybe I'm being a little dramatic about the whole turmoil word, but I experienced some pretty interesting situations with females, and so as I'm doing a lot of changes in my life now. I'm venturing on new projects. I'm challenging myself to grow and get out of my box to become a better, more empowered female. So, in order to do that and to keep growing through stages in your life, you have to reflect on the past. I mean, it's inevitable. You have to face the past. You have to reflect, and you guys know I'm big on journaling. So I'm journaling, and just things from the past pop up in my head, and I'm like, man, like I sometimes I didn't realize how bad it was for me growing up. I'm not going to get into the whole details of what happened to me. I mean, I'll maybe bring up one or two little stories about some experiences, but I'm not going to drag this up because that's not what this episode is for. But as I was reflecting on some of my experiences, I was like, man, like it's pretty tough when you got haters out there. They make it really hard, if you let them get to you. And sometimes you can be very strong. You're like, girl, I got this. She's a hater, da da da. And yeah, it's true. You can move on, but there comes a time where it can be a little bit much, especially when you're a growing phase, and you're also in your teenage years when you're already trying to figure out who you are in this world and you're going through growth spurts. So when you're going through changes in your life and you have this coming at you, it can be a little challenging. And I see this everywhere. I see this with TV personalities. You see it on social media, and I'm like, you females that are on the hating side, you guys are a trip, man. Like I'm not sure where all this is stemming from. It's probably some sort of insecurity, maybe. I don't want to get into like physical things because that's not what I'm here for. But there's things there that maybe some things they could fix if it's physical, or maybe it's an educational. Stemming from something educational, or maybe where you grew up. There's a lot of things, and some females are actually, they got it all together, but something deep inside of them is bringing that hate attitude towards other females. And it's really sad. It's really sad, actually. I think it's even sadder to be a hater than to be on the other side where you're actually being hated on, because the pain and what it does to your soul when you're a hater what it does to your soul is already it's already too much. I don't even know how you can heal from something like that. I mean, you'd have to like really build a relationship with God and have some sort of a revelation because being, I mean, I've been around, I mean, I'm sure we've all been around haters. And when you really look at their life, it's pretty shallow. They're might be surrounded by a lot of people all the time and have like a circle. But if you really analyze them and if you really sit there and like observe them, it's really sad, guys. It's actually pretty pathetic. And I really feel bad for them because they're acting out of something inside of them that is turning into something vocal and even physical. And the reason I say physical, I'm going to share this little small part. I actually got jumped. TMI, but I don't care. I'm going to be open about a lot of my experiences. I was actually jumped in school over hate. I had females trying to fight me. It was pretty bad. Like my mother had to go to school. It was a lot. And like all my friends were guys because I think I had 2 friends growing up in high school, 2 female friends, and all my other friends were guys. So you know what happens when you have a lot of guy friends, right? What your title is, your reputation. You are all of a sudden you're like, you have a reputation and you like I'm not going to say the word, but, and then this is all based off of hate, and things spread like wildfire. And I was very blessed to have some really good guy friends, and I'm still friends with a lot of them right now, like a really good bunch of guy friends so shout out to you guys, for being my friends and having my back. But it had to come to that I had to be, I'm like, it was already sad enough to be alone. So I found myself very lonely through my teenage years because I was hated. So anyway, fast forward to me getting into being an adult now. I reflected on some friendships, and one thing you really have to pay attention to is when they say things to you that are in a joking manner, or they call you a cutesy name. And I'm going to say, like, I had a couple of people call me this, a couple of females call me this. Their name to me would be skinny bitch. That would be, they wouldn't call me my name, but they would call me skinny bitch. So I didn't really pay attention to it much at that time. Or they would just say things like, oh, girl, what size are you? Or, and I'm like, if they only knew that I actually would like to gain like 10 pounds, but you can't say that out loud. You have to be careful who you say that to. I mean, right here, I'm saying it openly because I don't care, whatever, but you can't openly say, girl, I'm trying to gain some weight, because like literally they'll want to throw tomatoes at you. Like, you really want to gain weight up? Yeah, I would like to gain 10 pounds. But anyway, so their name to me, their nickname, they never referenced me as my name. They referenced me as the skinny bitch. And like I said, I would brush it off. I was never really thinking about it. But now that I've reflected on it and I put things into perspective, these were females that were actually obviously not skinny. They were always going on a diet. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. And it's crazy how their self-hate, it lasers over to the person that they hate or that they're jealous of. So you have to really pay attention to the words, how they say it, and so also their eyes. You might be able to like turn around or catch them. Catching them is what's interesting. You can actually catch them looking at you. You can maybe do like a quick turn and you're like, whoa, like it literally just kind of takes you aback because of the way that they may be looking at you. And maybe they'll make a comment like, girl, why are you going to wear that? That's not even cute. When in reference, I would never do that to them. Like, I really don't like what you're wearing. And whatever, if you're friends, you should be honest with each other, but there's certain people you should really pay attention to. The other thing is, if they have a circle and they'll bring you into the circle well, if you allowed to be brought into the circle, but I'm using this as an example, but that circle, it's only to like a certain level, you know what I mean? And only certain occasions. They're specific of when they want to be around you and when they don't. It depends on how big the threat can be. If it's a big threat, girl, you're not going to get invited to this event or whatever it may be. And you're left like, why wasn't I included in that? And you have to look a little bit beyond. Why did that happen? So why do females, I don't know whose ears this is going to fall on, but why do you feel you have to reflect your energy and your jealousy or your insecurities on other people? Because this really, like I said, it does affect the hater, but it also affects the person that is being hated on. Because, I mean, you guys we hear this on the news, kids that are bullied. Some kids commit suicide because they're being bullied, or some people that are actually bullied or that are hated on, they're actually commit crimes. I mean, it can get really crazy. It can get violent. But instead of doing that, if you just celebrate, if we all learn to celebrate females and the progress that women have made, their successes, if we really just celebrate them, it'll change your heart. It'll change that self-hate, those insecurities that you have. It'll help you change them, and it'll soften that harshness that you have. So yeah, just, we got to be more supportive. I mean, like I was saying earlier, women go through so much already. I mean, I don't have any kids, but I have friends that are single mothers, and when I see what they go through as being, trying to hold a job, a career, and having kids, the dropping off, all that. I mean, women have it so hard, still trying to fight for equality with pay, certain careers that are dominated by men. We have so much already that we have thrown at us, and to not be surrounded by empowering females and supportive communities of females is hard. So, like I said, I'm not sure who this is going to, whose ears these are going to, but if you find yourself on that side of hate, there's some reflecting that you need to do. And instead of, like I said, pouring out your negativity and insecurities on other people, really try to heal yourself from why you're doing that. And if you're maybe insecure with your career, give yourself the time to find a new trade that you can learn, go back to school. If you're not happy with the way you look physically, eat better, take care of your health. These are things that are that are uncomfortable to discuss, but I mean, it's the truth. And if you're having some insecurities, maybe of your upbringing, deal with those. We all have to face our demons sooner or later, because if we don't, we're going to reflect those on other people. So I'm glad that I finally discussed this. For myself, like my experiences I was mentioning, I mean, they were very tough, and I mean, they did affect me. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh girl, whatever, it didn't affect me. No, it did affect me, and probably more than I would like it to have. But because I'm the kind of person that I like to have friends. I'm a very social people, and I like to have people around me. So I made some really pretty bad mistakes with friendships. I'm going to call myself out because it's the truth. I made some really bad mistakes, some really bad calls on friendships, and they are now, I see them as stepping tools to where I'm headed in the future. I'm not going to beat myself up over it anymore because it's already done. And the relationships have been severed already. I wish everybody the best. I don't have any ill feelings towards anybody. But those things, we have to deal with them, face them, and forgive them and move on. So the other perspective on this was, if you're in a relationship, also pay attention to your partner, because believe it or not, this does exist. You can be hated on by your partner. And maybe you have the energy where people just gravitate to you and they can be a little bit jealous and hate on you, or why do people have to do this, and why do you have to go talk to everybody, whatever the situation is. Some people just have different energies, and some are very welcoming, some are like stay away, but maybe you're getting attention and your partner doesn't like it. So, and then they make little comments. So pay attention to that too, guys. And honestly, if you find yourself in that situation, you have to start cutting people off, because right now, with the way the world is, all these changes, we're like literally have so much to deal with. The last thing you need to have is like a hater around you, and you don't owe anybody an explanation. Just, you know what, my life is going into a different direction. If you choose to give an explanation, or you can just go cold turkey and just cut them off, or be like, you know what, I'm just not interested. Or you can say, you know what, I'm growing into a different direction. This is what my focuses are now, and let's just leave it at that. If you want to do that, but at the end of the day, you got to cut those relationships off. And of course, through social media, you're going to get the lurkers, the comments here and there. Just block people, delete. You don't want that on your feed for sure. And if you're friends with people that you get that energy from, delete people. I actually found myself deleting some people off my social media. And they're probably going to be like, oh my gosh, what happened to her? Like, I thought we were friends. No, we're not. We're frenemies according to you. I mean, I wish you the best. I don't consider you my enemy or my friend. Time to move on. So anyway, guys, that concludes my episode for today on why you gotta hate. So let's show some love to these haters. Be nice, be respectful, be cordial, and then back up from that and then start removing yourself. So anyway, that concludes my episode for today. I wish you guys the best, and I hope you guys are having an amazing day. And also, don't forget to comment below and let me know your thoughts on this. Definitely let me know what you think about what I said. If you've experienced this and how you handled it, I definitely want to hear that part. So, all right, guys, have a great day, and I will see you soon on Sociology. Take care. Bye-bye.